Greetings, fellow horror fans. Well, our look at the Child's Play / Chucky series now continues on with Seed of Chucky. 6 years after the previous film, the benevolent and gender-confused living adult child of Chucky and Tiffany is being encountered by Sykes, an abusive British ventriloquist who exploits him for his act. Sykes has smugly named the doll, pardon my French, Shitface, and regularly mistreats him. Despite his peaceful nature, Shitface has violent nightmares about murder. Shitface sees the preview on television for Jennifer Tilly's new film, Chucky Goes Psycho, which features Chucky and Tiffany dolls repaired from their original remains. Realizing he is their child, Shitface escapes Sykes and tracks the Chucky and Tiffany dolls to a prop room in Hollywood. Shitface uses the Heart of Damballa, a voodoo amulet, to resurrect them. Chucky is shocked at having a child while Tiffany is overjoyed. Confused about their child's ambiguous gender, despite having no genitals, Chucky renames Shitface Glenn, while Tiffany renames him Glenda. Chucky and Tiffany decapitate a special effects technician with a wire. Jennifer finds the beheaded body and calls the police. Chucky, Tiffany, and Glenn/Glenda sneak a ride to her home in her limousine. Having witnessed his parents murder the technician, Glenn/Glenda asks them why they kill. Chucky and Tiffany are taken aback by the question. Tiffany, feeling parental responsibility, tries to force Chucky to stop killing for the sake of their child. Chucky falsely promises to do so. Meanwhile, Jennifer tries to get a role as the Virgin Mary rapper Redman's feature film directorial debut. She invites him to her home, intending to seduce him for the role, much discussed for her assistant Joan. Chucky and Tiffany make plans to transfer their souls into Redman and Jennifer. Tiffany knocks them out and uses a turkey baster to inseminate Jennifer with Chucky's semen, intending to use her baby as a host for Glenn/Glenda's soul. Chucky takes Glenn/Glenda on a secret joyride to kill Pete Peters, a paparazzo who had been following Jennifer around. Glenn/Glenda accidentally causes Peters to fall and be soaked with sulfuric acid, killing him. Glenn/Glenda is horrified while Chucky is delighted. Jennifer awakens and senses that she is pregnant, believing Redman is responsible. Redman explains this is impossible, as he previously had a vasectomy. He fires Jennifer from his film, dismissing pregnant women as not attractive enough for his vision. Tiffany cuts Redman in anger over his misogyny, which Glenn/Glenda witnesses. The next day, Jennifer wakes up to find herself with a full pregnant belly, a consequence of the voodoo magic. Chucky captures Jennifer and her lovelorn chauffeur Stan to take Redman's place. Jennifer's assistant Joan tries to help, but she is killed by Glenda. Reveal that Glenn and Glenda are two separate souls in the same body. Glenn is a pacifist, while Glenda is a psychopath. Jennifer gives birth to twins, a boy and a girl, and Tiffany realizes that both Glenn and Glenda can inhabit the two children. However, Chucky's had an epiphany. He smokes up his life as a living doll and no longer wishes to become human. Disgusted, Tiffany rejects Chucky and decides to leave him. Enraged, Chucky throws a knife at Jennifer to stop Tiffany from leaving him, but Stan jumps in the way, sacrificing himself to save her. The police arrive, forcing the dolls to flee. Jennifer is rushed to the hospital. Tiffany drugs Jennifer and begins to possess her, but Chucky breaks in and kills Tiffany with an axe. Devastated, Glenn snaps and attacks Chucky, striking him with the axe. Chucky assumes it's Glenda, but Glenn reveals it's actually him and not his murderous twin. Glenn dismembers Chucky, who praises Glenn for his actions before being decapitated. Realizing what he has done, Glenn breaks down into tears as Jennifer comforts him. 5 years later, Jennifer is raising Glenn and Glenda, who transfer their souls into the bodies of her two children. During a birthday party for the twins, a nanny quits because Glenda scares her. Jennifer beats her to death in a rage, revealing that Tiffany had successfully transferred her soul into Jennifer's body. Meanwhile, Glenn opens a birthday present to find Chucky's severed arm, which springs up and grabs him. Oh no! So anyway, let's take a look at the production of this movie. Production of a new film called Son of Chucky began on October 18, 1998, 2 days after the successful release of Bride of Chucky, whose director Ronnie Yu was unable to return due to scheduling conflicts. Don Mancini, who is gay and was interested in exploring LGBT-related themes in the next film, decided to write a screenplay inspired by the 1953 cult classic Glenn or Glenda, in which Chucky's son is an innocent person suffering from gender dysphoria. He also had to continue the shift in the series towards comedy, After knowing that horror villains such as Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and Freddy Krueger became less scary as they became more familiar with audiences. Universal Pictures, which produced the previous 3 films and had expected a more conventional slasher film with the son being a murderous villain, rejected the script with the note, "This is too gay." Production ultimately resumed when the project was approved by Focus Features after the successful release of Cabin Fever in 2003, and was ultimately released through Rogue Pictures. Mancini claimed in a podcast of broadcasting Redman, he offered to cast Quentin Tarantino as himself, but he declined. Seed of Chucky was almost filmed entirely in Romania at Castle Studios in order to save costs. Mancini tried to replicate the look of older horror films by shooting the film mostly on sound stages, and was additionally influenced by the filmmaking styles of Brian De Palma and Dario Argento. All the animatronic and makeup effects were the handiwork of effects designer Tony Gardner, who also appears in the film as himself in a cameo in his company Alterian Inc. So overall, I do really like this movie, and of course, we'll see what happens to Glenn and Glenda later in the Chucky series. And yes, I'm still bummed that the Chucky series got canceled after only 3 seasons, but hey, what you gonna do? So yeah. So overall, I give Seed of Chucky 4 Good Guy Dolls out of 5. Anyway, tune in more as we take the next film in the series, Curse of Chucky. So, until then, in the words of Charles Lee Ray, give me the power, I beg of you!